Welcome on in. This is your channel master, Sprues and Studs, and you know what, Blood Angels fans, it is time to grab your pitchforks and your torches and let's go hunting some GW. No, please don't do that. That is 100% meant to be a joke. Now, in the past couple of weeks, we have seen a refresh of our line, and some of the refreshes have been pretty damn good. And some of the refreshes have really stoked the fires of rebellion, as well as generated quite a lot of vitriol in the online web space, especially YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, all that stuff. The social media has been alit with fire of the travesty of some of the units of the Blood Angels refresh. So I'm not really going to talk about the Brutalis Dreadnought, nor the Sanguinary Priest, nor the Blood Angels Captain. I want to focus in on 5 different units, and that's going to be the Sanguinor, Astorath, Lemartes, as well as the Death Company, and finally the Sanguinary Guard. So here are my thoughts on Lemartes. It is a solid figure with a very nice update. He looks a lot more angry compared to the original mini that he was based off of, and the refresh one really gives you the feeling that he's in the throes of the Black Rage. So I like it how GW has definitely communicated that through the look of that mini. The Blood Chalice Crozius is a really nice revamp too. And finally, I would have to say that sweet looking metal ribcage armor gives more of a grim, dark metal kind of feel. So I actually do like the update on Lemartes. And that's the same thing with Astorath. I think that the new update really remains faithful to the original model. The armor is awesome because he's got that unique musculature armor just like Mephiston has. And he's got these awesome, wicked looking raven type wings, complete with that barbed curve on top, which adds a little nice touch to it. I think the Skull Pauldron is fantastic looking, and finally the Death Mask looks pretty damn good as well. Now the third one I'm gonna talk about is the Sanguinor, and once again GW did a good job of maintaining the feel as well as the vibe of the new one compared to the old one, which means they did a fantastic job of translating the old one into a new rendition, but still giving a nod to the old one. So the old Sanguinor kind of had like a living statue kind of look. It looked a little bit rigid in my opinion. However, the new one also has that statue kind of look, but it's strange because when I look at it, it seems like the mini is a little bit more flowy compared to the old one. The Death Mask is a little odd looking, but it isn't that bad comparatively to some other Death Masks, which I will get to. And the wings are absolutely beautiful looking because it definitely gives you a presence that this guy is an angel. And here's where things took a turn for the worst, in my opinion. A lot of Blood Angels fans really were hammering on with the Death Company and really angry with the Sanguinary Guard, and I can see exactly why. So let's talk about the Death Company. So the old Death Company sculpts, they had a lot of regalia, a lot of different kind of accoutrements or flair that made them the Death Company. There was plenty of those red X's there. You had blood chalices, you had blood tears, you had these cool cords, these cool looking tabards, these just different little bits that made the Death Company who they were. And I know change is hard for some people, but I'll have to agree that some change is not for the better. So the new ones, unfortunately, look like they have a lack of flavor. They're completely bland and don't have any character whatsoever, and that's exactly why a lot of Blood Angels fans are in an absolute uproar. And I myself, I'll be honest with you, I am completely disappointed by the revamp of these things. A lot of people have been joking that they literally look like a black version of just a regular assault marine, which I could see the similarities there. And then finally, the Sanguinary Guard. Oh man, this one is a rough one. And I'll have to say this. It's interesting how the new ones do actually give a nod to the old ones. However, one of the biggest things that the Sanguinary Guard are known for are its angelic wings. And the wings have been clipped on the new ones, which, to be honest, is a complete damn shame to me. Now, when you see these angelic armored figures coming down from the heavens, it is a very intimidating thing. You want to see that. It basically gives the Sanguinary Guard their panache, their real character, in my opinion. And what GW did was put these little wings on the grav chutes. I like it how they did have a nod to the wings, but those aren't wings. We want the wings. And then the death masks, I don't know exactly what's up with them too. They're completely like lifeless looking, and I guess this too rounded. It's just really bizarre how they look. So it begs the question of, GW, would it cost too much if you actually use the wings from the Sanguinor or Astorath and just put it on the Sanguinary Guard? So now that I've come off my soapbox and stopped bitching about the new line, what can we do? Well, there's a few things that we can possibly do. Some people have already tried this online. So the first thing, and probably the biggest thing that we can do, is just to not buy the miniatures. Vote with our wallets and hit them where it hurts. And that's usually the only way a big corporation like GW will actually notice. Because if they see the sales of these new figures are terrible, they might actually do something about it. I'm not exactly too sure. I probably don't think they will. The second thing that people can do, and have done actually, was to communicate to GW their displeasure about the Death Company as well as the Sanguinary Guard. Now, they've emailed the customer service representatives, so hopefully the customer service representatives will forward these emails to their bosses. So what I would recommend you to do this is, don't call them stupid, don't call them garbage. The key is to remain civil and to offer constructive criticism and say that exactly what I said, which is basically, for the example of the Sanguinary Guard, the wings need to be there because they are a key defining factor of this miniature, and it is also a key defining feature of an angel, period. Be civil, be constructive, and don't rip them a new asshole just because they have nothing to do with the design. The third thing that you can do is, well, suck it up and buy the new miniatures. I think that's a pretty obvious thing to do. The fourth thing is, well, you can use the old Sanguinary Guard parts and then fit them on the new miniatures. Especially, I would definitely replace the new death masks with the old one, and then take the angelic wings of the old ones and then put it on the jump packs of the new ones. So the problem with that is GW is going to discontinue these old miniatures, and it is going to be increasingly hard and pretty expensive to find the old kits as time goes on. So another thing that you can possibly do is what I had mentioned before, is that you could buy multiple Astoraths or the Sanguinor and actually fit their wings onto the Sanguinary Guard. That's probably not a cost viable option. It's going to be astronomically expensive if you decide to kit that out. And the next thing that you could possibly do is, again, buy the new miniatures, but then go on third-party websites so you can buy different parts for them. And I've seen a lot of people do this. And then the final thing is that if you have a 3D printer, obviously you can 3D print these parts and then attach them onto the new miniatures. So if you're gonna ask me what I'm going to do, I am definitely going to buy Lemartes, Astorath, as well as the Sanguinor, but I am not going to buy the Death Company or the Sanguinary Guard. Now, I have actually not bought a mini in a very, very long time. As you can see, I am completely elbows deep into action figures more than the miniature side now. So I have to determine where to put my money. And I'm definitely not going to be putting my money in the Death Company or the Sanguinary Guard. I don't know exactly what the future holds, but for now, I'm definitely not going to buy them. So thank you, members of the chapter, as well as Blood Angels fanatics. I do appreciate your continued viewership of this channel, as well as the likes, as well as the comments that you have put in the comment section. All this engagement does help out the channel, and I'm very thankful for that. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.